We on?
We can, I mean, want to turn it off? It's gonna get hot, but
Yeah, we don't die here.
yeah, we're the only ones here, so we good. We don't mind. We can handle the heat.
Okay.
Hey y'all,
What's up?
what's going on? So this is our day 3 at the Atlanta BeltLine, and we're doing things a little bit different today. So we had a very full class yesterday and a very long class, and also on Wednesday. Today we're making it a little more intimate. We're having the same discussions, the same amazing discussions we have with the super talented artists we've had in our classes so far. But we're gonna continue the conversation, but in a more intimate setting here, so that you guys can still join us and see what we're up to.
Yeah, I'm gonna be drawing the background and talking, and Nani's gonna be here.
Yeah, I can't write and talk at the same time, so I'm just gonna talk. And you can watch Carlos do his cool drawings while we're talking, so you don't get bored.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna be interested. What are they talking about?
So what are we talking about? Hold on, let me see who's tuning in, so we can.
Maybe we should have done it in mirror mode.
Yeah, we should have done it in mirror mode. Is it too late to flip? No, it's not too late to flip. There's a flip button right here.
Okay.
Let me see. Nobody's tuned in. Well, one person's watching so far. But flip it. All right, let's see. Can you see us? All right. Yep, it works.
Cool.
Cool. So, hey y'all, again.
Hey y'all.
For those of y'all that just tuned in, who's the? All right. So yeah, we're doing our 3rd class on the BeltLine a little bit differently. We're having a more intimate setting. Hey, you wanna join us? We're still going live with our workshop, but we're just talking to the people online since we're a little empty here. But we'd love to have you join our conversation with us. That's okay. Okay. It's cool. All right. So
Well, you're the social media person, right?
okay. So we're having an intimate. Oh, okay. You're the behind the camera.
No, we love
Well,
that.
we're having a more intimate session today, so.
Talking about what we do and
But
stuff.
we're talking about the same stuff that we've been talking about in our last 2 classes, which were really full, but we want to continue the conversation. So those of you who are just tuning in, hey again. You guys watch Carlos draw here. And hey Stephanie, please offer classes on Saturdays. Okay, so thank you for the suggestion. We have had some Saturday classes. This is our last summer class workshop. So we're in the process of planning all our fall workshops right now and for next year. So we will keep you in mind, and we will definitely plan some Saturday workshops so that you can join us. But
Yeah, just sign up for our newsletter on primevice.com on the bottom of the homepage, and that way you'll be able to stay up to date. Like us on Facebook, follow us on social media. That way you make sure you don't miss out on the future upcoming events as far as workshops goes. And we'll make sure to get a Saturday in. So if you get a Saturday book, we're gonna expect you to show up.
better be there,
Yeah.
Stephanie. But yeah, so definitely Facebook, we always make event pages for all our workshops, so keep up with that. And then yeah, in our newsletters, all that stuff, we send out the information. So hopefully we'll see you there, Stephanie.
Yeah,
She gave us a thumbs up.
do you know what you want to work on, Stephanie? You have any ideas? You have like a comic idea, a character, or a book? To write anything?
Well, yeah, so the thing here is we have to wait for you to type out your answers. So there's going to be awkward silences.
We'll give her some time.
Yeah, take your time. We'll keep going here. So, yes, Oh, she said, it's for my 15-year-old daughter. Okay, so that's perfect. Our workshop age group is 14 plus, so I think your daughter would be a perfect fit for our workshops. And we have, I don't know if you have seen these yet, we have these workbooks which we're gonna go in depth into right now. Actually, that's what we're gonna talk about. And these are also made for 14 plus. It's a little bit complex, so we like to have older people in our classrooms who can really grasp the concepts. So we're gonna be super excited to see you, your daughter, and anybody else you think might be interested, and we'll definitely plan those Saturday workshops. Anything else you want to add?
Oh no, I'm good.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for tuning in, Stephanie. So yes, so as I mentioned before, we started having this discussion offline, and then we decided to go live with it because it's a continuation of what we were talking about in all of our other classes, which is, so a lot of you may or may not know, Prime Vice Studios is the premier sequential art company. There aren't any other sequential art companies out there, and there definitely aren't any who use sequential art the way we do. We're not just a comics company. So what we teach in our workshops with these workbooks and all of our whole curriculum with our digital content, the tutorials that Carlos puts up on YouTube every week, what we try to do is we're trying to, as you can see the title of this workbook, it's about creating fresh voices. So we're trying to help people in our community create new stories, diversify the industry, and create IPs, intellectual properties. So we work with companies, we work with individuals, we work with different brands, nonprofits, for-profits, we work with schools, art centers, anywhere. We can really take the sequential art medium and help anybody build intellectual properties and storytelling skills with sequential art, because that's what sequential art is. It's visual storytelling. And if you take away the storytelling part of sequential art, then you just have really pretty drawings, which is cool, but then it's not sequential art. So, and when you think about things like branding, intellectual property development, marketing, that's all about storytelling. If you want to have a strong brand, your brand has to have a strong story behind it. So that's basically what we talk about in our workshops. We like our workshops intimate. We never have, or we try never to have more than like 15 people in our workshops, because we really work one-on-one with everybody. If you guys have been to our workshops, you know how it is. We pull stories out of all of you. We don't let you just sit here and think about life. I mean, you can think about life as long as you're writing it down in this book. We want to see work. So we make people work in our workshops. And yeah, so we want you guys to come out with these original new stories, new characters that you want to see represented in media, on TV, in books, wherever, the stories that you think are missing and need to be told. Yes, and owning your narrative, telling it in your way so that, because you are the best person to tell your story. So, on that note,
Let's talk about the history of the book.
yes, so let's start there.
Start the cover.
So this is a lot of you guys have this book at home now. If you come to our workshops, you get this book. That's part of our workshops. If you've come to our pollination project workshops or our BeltLine workshops, you've gotten it for free, because we want to get these into as many hands as possible. We want to get you guys working on your stories. So it's called, once again, Prime Vice Fresh Voices Comic Creator. Hey, thanks. Comic Creation Workbook. And it's got all of our characters on there. It's got Long Girl and Ekmo. It's got Santos and Damiana having a little chit-chat conversation here. And it's got a whole El Comico strip down here where he's saving this lady during a tornado. Well, saving her hair tie anyway, during a tornado, being the superhero that he is. So, these are our IPs on the cover. These are our characters. I know you guys all have this El Comico sticker, like everybody has this, right? You guys have all seen this before. And then, of course, you guys have Lone Girl stickers too. No, look at that.
Exclusive.
We got all the stickers. And I know you guys have these Lone Girl stickers too. And these Damiana stickers. if you've been to our workshops, we like to give out a lot of cool freebies, and people like stickers a lot better than business cards, so we do stickers. So these are all our intellectual properties on this cover. We have more, but these are just some of the cool, well-developed ones. But this workbook itself is one of our biggest intellectual properties. This workbook represents, the Prime Vice Studios curriculum. Our sequential art curriculum, which we used to teach, is broken down in the pages of this workbook. So how this workbook came about was,
because we started teaching workshops and we had worksheets, and then when we got the investment capital, the seed money from the Pollination Project, we decided to turn it into a whole book, and we thought it was something that would be more useful and people want to build on more, opposed to just having some worksheets that they could work through, something they could take home, work through, come back to us about, and develop that relationship and build that community with it.
Yes. So we used to have all these
Conception to creation. No.
Oh.
Talk about the.
Yes, from conception to creation. So yeah. So basically, we had all these worksheets, and we were tired of printing them out separately, and it wasn't as organized. And thank you to the Pollination Project, they gave us the opportunity, the seed money, to finally be able to get these workbooks together and get them out into the right hands. So as you can see, we have our trademark here. It says from conception to creation, and this takes you through the journey of creating a comic book from the very beginning, from a brand new idea that you have never developed before, all the way to the final product. So I guess we'll take you guys through the workbook a little bit here.
Yeah. So it's a plastic cover.
Yep, it's
heavy duty.
It's heavy duty, so this kind of protects the front cover here. And the first thing you see inside is a table of contents and a place for you to write your name, because this is your book. This is your work in here, so we want everyone to take ownership of their book. And we got a table of contents. And then over here, this is page 1, character design. So if you've been to our workshops, you've heard us talk about iconic characters a lot. If you read my blog post, Brown Girl Writes, that's the last thing I talked about. That was my blog from Wednesday, iconic characters. So of course, when you think about comic books, you think about those iconic characters. You think about Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, and all of those characters that have stood the test of time, right? You don't need to know who created them. You don't need to know who's drawing them now, who drew them 20 years ago. You just know who these characters are, and you have your favorites, and you go watch all their movies and buy all their toys and, invest in that intellectual property. So for us, it's really, really important to encourage you guys to create brand new iconic characters. Character is the most important thing when developing a comic book. And I mean, any kind of writing, really. If you don't have strong characters, your writing is weak, right? Otherwise, nobody will relate to your writing if you don't have those rich characters. So the first thing we start with is character design. So we have this little prompt sheet here. They're just little suggestions to kind of get you guys thinking about brand new characters. A lot of people come to our workshops with their own characters in mind already that they've been developing, which is awesome. They still go through this prompt sheet, and then they're like, wow, I've been thinking about this character for years, but this is the first time I've written it down. Now it's real, So we want you to, again, going back to intellectual property, you can't copyright what's in your head, but you can copyright what's on this paper. So we just take you through this little prompt to get your brain thinking. We ask very simple questions about your superheroes or your character's appearance. Is your character a person you know, a regular person? Is it a superhero? Is it an animal, a creature, an alien, whatever? What does it look like? Your character's personality. Does your character have a friend or sidekick, or is it a loner? Weaknesses and strengths, hobbies, that kind of thing. Just to get you thinking about who this comic book is going to be about, or this intellectual property, who's the face of it. And then we go into some drawing. The next page is final character design. And so, this is where Carlos comes in, and he shows his super talented artistic drawing skills. but more importantly, his teaching skills. He teaches you guys, the basics, the very, very basic. So if you know, we're not interested in beautiful, pretty pictures. I mean, they're nice to look at. We like beautiful art too, of course. But when it comes to comics, it's not about how pretty your drawing is. It's about how well it tells a story. So we start with stick figures, and Carlos, starts with stick figures.
Stick figure. I'd imagine that nobody could draw anything. I'll show you how to do a proper stick figure, how to draw proper shapes, triangle, square, circle. If you could do that, then you'll be able to learn how to make your own comic book.
Yes, so for people like me who write but don't draw, or people who don't write or who've never written or drawn before in their lives, our workshops are for everybody. If you can make a stick figure, you can tell a story. So we start with that, and then he takes you to the process of how to, build on that stick figure, how to, it's about consistency, right? Comics, you have to draw the same character and over and over and over. If your comic is 10 pages, you're gonna have, like 50 panels in there or something, and you're gonna have to be able to draw the same character and all those panels looking exactly like the same character in different positions, with different emotions, different body language, things like that. So it's about consistency, not about how pretty your drawing is. So you can make it pretty later, but what Carlos shows you is how to draw silhouettes, how to draw, different positions of the body, how to draw facial expressions, and how to get a system down so that you can draw the same thing over and over and over and over again throughout your comic book. And then you can go back in and make it beautiful and build on it, add the details and all that kind of stuff. So our workbook, so that's the little character design part. Then we go right back into the storytelling. Story is the most important. About half of this workbook is storytelling. So then we have a little template, it's the synopsis template, where we kind of make you break your stories down a little bit more. We have an original concept form where we make you go even more in depth. What this stuff helps you do is it helps you solidify the story in your head on how to pitch it to other people, how to be clear, what is it that you're trying to tell, right? Because you don't want to start a comic book and not know where it's going, especially a comic book. Like if you're just writing a story, you could still go back and add things and take things out. But if you're drawing out a comic book, you don't want to start doing all that artwork and not know where it's going, and then you're like, oh crap, now I don't know how it's supposed to end or what the character's supposed to do. So this really helps you. The synopsis and the original concept form helps you get the story really tight. Then we have a cast list. This is all for like supporting characters. We have a lot of students that come in here with super elaborate stories with like 20 different characters, and they want to tell all the stories all at the same time, and we're like, hold on, you got to focus on one character at a time. So then we have this cast list where it's like, okay, focus on developing one character now, and then make your cast list of all the other characters or the supporting characters, and then you can go back and keep developing them later.
I'm sharing this with all the groups.
Oh, okay.
So I'm finding more
That's
people.
fine. Carlos is quiet right now because he's trying to share this with more people, so it's okay.
Yeah, so please share. We want to talk to everybody out there. You're talking to the whole universe.
I know. This is for all the people who haven't been able to make it to our workshops. We're like giving you all this insider, like, this is supposed to be only for people who come to our workshop. So if you guys want our, insider tips and tricks here, we're giving you our entire workbook here. Pretty much, right?
Without giving them the workbook.
Without giving you the workbook.
You guys need to do the work still.
Yes.
Introduction, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So now when you come to our workshops, you know exactly what to expect, and you know you're going to be putting in work. So, okay, so now we're on page 6, and we're still on the storytelling. Here, we finally get into how to write a comic book script. This is probably the hardest page in the entire workbook. And we're still working on how to, simplify things more and more in this workbook. But writing a comic book script is unlike any other kind of writing. It's not like writing a movie script. It's nothing like writing a short story. It's its own genre, and it's its own skill. And when you're writing a comic book script, of course it's a whole process that you have to learn. And so we start with, this page right here. This is a very simple page. It's one page, 3 panels, and we like to go with what we call the rule of 3s: setup, hit, aftermath. So, of course, you can have as many panels per page as you want, or just one panel per page if you want. But we like to get people used to the whole setup, hit, aftermath storytelling method, so that it doesn't matter if it's just one page or if it's for the whole comic book, if it's for your whole graphic novel, whatever it is, you're always thinking about that storytelling structure: setup, hit, aftermath. And we go, of course, more in depth in our classes and stuff. So this is just a little preview. But yes, writing comic book scripts is quite a skill. So this is like, this page is the toughest one right here. You have to learn how to think visually. You have to learn how to write visually. You have to learn how to break everything down into one scene per panel. That, hey Kim, how are you? I'm rambling here. Okay, yes, learning how to break the storytelling down to one scene per panel, making sure every scene is effective and it has a purpose, and it's going with that whole setup, hit, aftermath storytelling flow. So, yes, it's a lot in here. And now we're finally getting to some of the drawing part. But even with the drawing, like Carlos said, we start with stick figures, we start with thumbnails, we start with ugly drawings. It just started pouring, so now I have to yell. Okay. So I have to yell now because it just started pouring. But anyway, here's where we go into how to break down each page into a panel, how many panels you should have per page, or how your panels are organized. How to, you can put little doodles, little stick figures to get yourself started to organize your story. So we have all these panels. This is a 32 panel page. This one's an 8 panel page. These are 8 pages. You can, go in and organize. Oh, good. It's slowing down. Okay. These are double page spreads we have in here. And then these are 2 pages, and then with room for some note taking. And finally, we have the splash page. So this is, I'm sure you've seen it in comic books. Sometimes it's in the middle of a comic book. They have a page where there's just one panel. It's just one big page. It's a very important scene. You can also use a splash page, for the cover. Or if you just want a bigger page to play with and break it down into panels and stuff, it's easier when it's this size. And what we tell all of our students, because nowadays a lot of our students are digital artists, like Carlos here, as you can see, he's drawing on his iPad, and it's on the TV right there. He's using his favorite at Comic Draw.
Shout out to Comic Draw, official sponsors.
Yeah. Comic Draw is like the best. I'll let Carlos talk about it actually. You tell him about Comic Draw a little bit.
Comic Draw is the best app I've discovered so far for drawing on the iPad Pro for making comics. It has especially made for making comics. There's plenty of apps out there that you could use, like Procreate and so on and so forth, Medibang. But what I like is the feasibility, how easy it is to use. It's user-friendly. You can zoom in and out. It has a whole bunch of variety of pens and pencils that you could use, paintbrushes, screen tones, sepia tones, and you can do from just scratch paper sketching to full inking and coloring, and also lettering at the same time. So the good thing is that you can take your lettering, just drag it onto there and adjust it. So even if you don't know how to draw, you can still make a fully fleshed out script, a fully fleshed out comic page, and make it easier for your artists to work off of. It makes it easier to collaborate as well.
Yeah, that's my favorite part, is you can put your whole comic book script in there, and then you can just drag and drop it into the bubbles once you're drawing and stuff. So, hi Dolly Vivi. Welcome. So what I was trying to say before we went on the Comic Draw tangent. By the way, Comic Draw is 2-week free trial, and then it's $10 to download. It's super cheap. It's just one download, $10, and it does a million different things. And if you see Carlos's tutorial videos and most of his artwork that he posts, he makes it on Comic Draw, so you can see it's pretty freaking good. Gets it print ready and all that stuff. But what I was trying to say is, we tell our students, because a lot of our students are digital artists like Carlos, and you know, regardless of what app you use, we tell them to scan these pages from the workbook onto their iPad. Hey.
What's up?
Who's that?
John Cena. He's the one that did
Hey.
¿Cómo está, John?
From DR. Hey, John.
Yeah, he draws. He's the one that did the first fan art for Damiana.
Oh, that was dope. Thanks for doing that.
Yeah,
That was cool.
I had to buy it off.
Man, we got people watching from DR. We got people watching from India. We got everybody watching. Where you guys watching from? Give your state or country a shout out, man.
Yeah, we got 9 people at least right now.
I know.
Where you from?
Where you guys watching from? Are you watching from work when you're not supposed to be? We won't tell. So anyway, we tell them to, it's raining again. We tell our students to scan this in their iPad on their computer and use it for digital drawing like Carlos is doing now. Hey Elton from Brooklyn.
I don't know, Elton. What's up, Elton?
Good.
How you doing?
It's like pouring rain again, so we have to yell at you guys. Sorry. Hey Kevlin from Kentucky. What's up? You guys are great. Awesome. Thanks for watching. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, please share too. If you have any friends, please be share. We want to talk to as many people as possible.
Hey David from Kentucky. That's awesome. Thanks for joining in, you guys. Hashtag the people's art us. Okay? Hey, Kelvin. Thanks, John. He said congratulations.
Oh, cool.
Oh, the people. Hashtag the people's artist. Got it. Thanks, Elton. I got it now.
How you doing?
Hey, what's up? How are you? Both.
Oh, yeah, these are all samples right here.
Yeah. So our workshop was it's about to be over soon.
I know, I
So-
saw this.
But we're just doing it live on Facebook. We're just talking to people. So if you want to join our conversation, you're welcome to. We're just talking about
Oh, talk about our books.
our workbooks and about to get there.
Okay.
So if you want to pull up a chair and join us, that'd be cool. We just sharing with the world since people didn't show up in this rain, I guess.
Yeah, it's pouring like crazy right now.
I know, it's so crazy.
Yeah.
Oh man, the water's coming inside. Crap. I hope it doesn't like short circuit our electronics. Oh man. That's not good.
I think we'll be alright. These are heavy duty industrial things.
I hope so. Anyway, thanks for watching, you guys. And thanks, he said congrats on the work. Okay, so the last page of our workbook, we were just going through our workbook. So these are the workbooks we use for our classes and stuff, with the students and work through them and stuff. So we're just sharing it online with everybody, and we want to flip through it kind of to help people get started on their comic book and stuff. So the last page, what tablet are you using? David is asking.
iPad Pro. The biggest one is like 12.5 inches. The largest iPad.
It's great. Oh, there's a drain. Good. I was getting worried. I was like, oh no. Alright, we're good. So yeah, we're good. You wanna feel free to push me
Are you an artist? A writer?
Oh,
Okay.
cool. What's your name?
How you doing, Ariana?
Ariana?
Welcome. I'm Carlos and Miss Ananya.
Ananya, nice to meet you. Yeah. David said nice.
Nah, comic draw.
Elton, we're using Comic Draw. We just talked about it, but we'll talk about it again because some people are tuning in later. So Comic Draw is our official sponsor, and that's the best comic drawing app out there right now. And that's the one Carlos, no Procreate, no Photoshop. We use Comic Draw by Plas. It's called Comic Draw. It's free for the first 2 weeks, then it's $10, and it's the best comic drawing app out there right now. That's the one that Carlos is using right now, and he always uses that one. So, yes. So, the last page of our workbook, this might look familiar to some of you guys, is the PV sketch. A lot of you guys have done this already, but for those of you who haven't, you know we have an online community. If you look up hashtag PV sketch, we have an online community of artists who have drawn their own art on this and then posted it up using their hashtag and their handle and their hashtag and tagging Prime Vice and using hashtag PV sketch. Yes, Comic Draw, Elton. Yeah, I'm glad you got it. He was like, Photoshop, Procreate, Comic Draw. So, Carlos is going to post a link to Comic Draw so you guys can learn more about it. Is that what you're about to do? I read your mind. Okay. So, anyway, if you guys haven't taken a part in this yet, definitely should. We have a whole community of artists. There you go, Comic Draw by Plask. So now you guys know what Carlos is using here. So we have a whole community of artists who've done this PV Sketch Challenge, and it includes, you know, legends, to little kids who are aspiring, to grown-ups who are aspiring, everybody of every level who is an artist or an aspiring artist has done one of these and posted it up. So if you look up hashtag PV Sketch, you'll see the whole community of PV Sketch artists up there. Everybody from the Kyle Baker, Jeff Smith, the creator of Bone Comics,
John Jennings, Eisner Award-winning artist with Damien Duffy. We got Albert Morales. We got Kelly Fernandez. We got Brina Nunez. We got who else we got?
We got all the Asifa South folks. Thanks for participating.
South. Yeah, shout out to Asifa South.
You guys are the best. We love you guys. Yeah, we have so many of our friends and fellow artists, colleagues, everybody. Cat Dragon. Oh my gosh, shout out to Cat Dragon. So many people, and people like me who can't draw but just did it for fun too. And some kids who are just messing around too. So it's a whole community out there, you guys. Go check it out. Hashtag PV Sketch. Okay, and then finally, this is the back cover. I'm sure you guys have seen these two. These are our online avatars. And there's a little bio about Prime Vice Studios and each of our bios and what we do, how we do. There's all of our contact info in the back, our website, our social media, our hashtag, hashtag Fresh Voices.
Hashtag Prime Vice.
Hashtag Prime Vice and hashtag PV Fresh Voices that we use for this book too. So yeah. So this is the magical book where everybody goes in, works hard, and gets their stories out. And we're still building on this. So we're gonna go back to this a little bit, but wanted to show you guys our own comics we have here. So we have, let's start with this one. I'm gonna let Carlos talk about this. All right, David, see you later. Thanks for watching. Have fun at work. All right, yeah, I put the link up. So this is, some of you already have this one, the printed copy, SLC Funk. So this book just went on Comixology, like yesterday, right?
Yeah, it came on Comixology just yesterday, so you can get it now.
You can get the digital copy on there. And this is, but I mean, of course, there's nothing like the paper copy. We have those too. But if you want to get it quick, you can go. Carlos is putting up the link. You can go straight to Comixology and get you one of these. SLC Funk. The next one is in the works, so you might want to go get this one first. You want to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, get them to catch up. Well,
Yeah.
I'm doing this to
Okay.
talk to them a little bit more.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go through the other books then. Or
Okay, that's fine.
is that fine? All right. I'm gonna go through the other comic books, and then Carlos will come back and talk about this. So the next ones are, if you know me, you know Lung Girl. So these are Lung Girl comics, and so these are published by the SID Foundation, which is a nonprofit. We raise funds and awareness for lung transplant research. And Lung Girl comics, so I wrote the story, I created the characters, and then worked with Carlos to do the character design, and he actually illustrated. So this first one, he did the character design, and then the second one, he illustrated the whole thing himself. So this one is our combined project, Lung Girl 2. So Lung Girl is a fun and educational little comic book, and it's a way for us to raise awareness about lung health issues. Hey Albert, what's up? Welcome. We were just talking about you, Albert. It was good stuff though. So yeah, anyways, I was talking about Lung Girl here. If you guys have already seen, I'm sure. Oh, you're too late to sound off?
No, it's
what?
not too late.
It's not too late?
We still online.
We're here. Go ahead. What you gotta say? He said Prime Wise. You say what you gotta say, Albert. We still here. That's funny. You guys are cracking us up over here. All right. First time caller, long time listener. I like that. You crazy.
This is the first time we talked.
Well, welcome from Phoenix, AZ, first time caller, long time listener. What was I talking about? Yes, Lung Girl. So Lung Girl.
The history of Lung Girl.
The history of Lung Girl. So it's published by SID Foundation, raising funds and awareness for lung transplant research, right? So lung transplant is a gruesome topic. We wanted to find a more fun and interesting way to talk about it. So that's why I created Lung Girl comics. It helps raise awareness for lung health issues, but in a more conversational way. It's kid-friendly. It's cute. It's not gruesome like lung transplants are in real life. And the money we raise from selling these supports, the SID Foundation supports lung transplant research. So we're continuing with this. The first issue focuses on pollution and lung health. The second issue focuses on what it's like to live with lung disease. And the third one is in the works. It's coming out this fall. You guys know I've been promoting it all the time. I don't know if you have seen it, but Elton said he can't click on the link.
Which link?
Which link, Elton? Is it the Comic Draw link or the SLC Funk link?
Well, the comic draw won't work on a phone. You'll have to do it on an iPad.
Oh, okay. So once you got your iPad up, then click on the link for Comic Draw. Because that's only for iPads. But yeah, so Lung Girl 3 is in the works.
Let me give you the blog post so that you can download it straight from
Okay.
the website.
All right, Carlos is gonna post another link so you can download Comic Draw straight from the website. So Lung Girl 3 is in the works. It'll be out this fall. Just finished writing the script and Carlos is about to draw it. Okay. All right, we got you, Elton. Carlos is gonna post another link. And you have to open it in your Comic Draw. Your iPad. It won't work on your phone. That's why.
Try this one. There's going to be a link to my blog, but it's going to have a direct link to download it when you get in that blog.
All right, you got it? Cool. You got it. So, got it? Okay, cool. Glad you got that sorted.
I also put the Lung Girl link up there too.
Oh, okay. All right, the Lung Girl link is up there too. I need a Lung Girl and Comico guest strip for my newspaper, Big Time Funnies. Okay, Albert.
Yes.
Let's do it. Let's make it happen. We'll send you the stuff as soon as we get out of here.
And you know, we're working on the Black Book. That's my upcoming book. So you know, we need some Albert's magic touch. Trade, man, trade, exchange, cross-cultural,
Make that happen. All right, let's talk about that, Albert. We'll talk about
Yeah,
that.
Big Time Funny stuff. We're all about funny stuff.
Yes. Yes, Elton, we'll definitely check you out. We follow back. We check out all the people that follow us. So.
Yeah. Are you on Instagram?
Are you on Instagram, Elton?
Yes.
Albert, you do Super Impacto style. Yeah, that's right. Let us know.
Yeah, I still got your interview up, man. Like, y'all let people know about your interview. It's on PrimeVice.com. We did a whole feature on Albert Morales. He just came out with the design for a Wolverine. This toy by Brick by Brick. You gotta check out Albert Morales ASAP. He was at Comic-Con San Diego. He got his own character called Super Impacto. So.
You gotta know about him.
Yeah.
All right, Elton, thanks for sharing your Instagram.
75?
Yeah, we're about to follow you right now, Elton. Thanks for sharing your Instagram. That's awesome. Thanks for watching, you guys. You guys are still with us, huh? That's cool. I hope we're not boring you. But yeah, we'll call you, Albert. Maybe not today because we're at this event today, or tomorrow because we're at this event tomorrow too. But we'll call you this weekend. Yeah, Elton, anytime, man. That's what we're here for. We gotta cross promote. We gotta check each other's workout and build.
Build.
All right, so now you gotta give him your SLC Funk intro.
Okay, so SLC Funk. This is my first full issue of a comic book, and I made this back in 2016, and it's now published on Comixology for people that are into the digital comics. And this story is about our boy Santos over here, Santos La Cruz, and his partner, Damiana the Prickly Pixie. And they live in this city called St. Love City, and they have to deal with the mischief and mayhem of a bunch of crazy people within this valley mountainside city. So it's a magical realism, young adult genre kind of comic, and the guy's named Santo. He's a high school student, and what happens is he has a guitar. His girlfriend Porcelina Snow breaks up with him, breaks his heart. Then he goes to play the blues on his guitar, and the guitar breaks on him, and then he wants to go replace it. And what happens is when he buys this guitar, it's just not just any old guitar. It's a guitar that, when he plays from his heart, it awakens and broke the spell of that Damiana was under. She was living inside the guitar. So because of it, she gets out. They become best friends, start having adventures. For the rest, you're gonna have to check into the book.
Can't give it all away, you know what I'm saying?
But we got the link to the book where you can download on Comixology. I'm always putting up art about them on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, so please stay tuned.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I forgot to tell you, Lung Girl 2 is on Amazon. Both Lung Girl 1 and Lung Girl 2, you can buy them on Amazon. They're not on Comixology yet, but they are on just regular Amazon, so you can just search them on there.
Yeah, Santos is a bachatero, so he's not just any guitar player.
That's why he got all that pretty hair and stuff, you know?
He
He
got
got
the
to
long
impress
locks.
the ladies.
Yeah. So he's a Dominican character, probably one of the first few Dominican characters out there, at least one that plays music in a comic book format. And
One of the first few bilingual comics out there.
Yes, this is a bilingual comic, so it has English and Spanish at the same time. So if you don't know English, you get to learn some English. If you don't know Spanish, you get to learn some Spanish. If you know both, then you get to enjoy it. If you don't know any of them, then you get to enjoy the pictures.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We hit you guys with all the angles.
All the angles.
We gotta have the fun stuff and the education combined.
Yeah.
So that's how we do stuff. All right, cool. So Well, before we started this, we were talking about intellectual property development. And we were talking about how, this workbook that we have it's just the beginning. It's a small workbook. It's only 17 pages. And it's just the beginning of, this IP, the Prime Vice Fresh Voices Comic Creator Workbook. And we were talking about how we're going to continue building it and continue expanding it. And we have so much, but we can't put too much, all up in here at once because it's overwhelming. And in our workshops, we can only cover so much ground in a workshop, right? So this is going to eventually expand into a textbook. And eventually, it may not even be called Prime Vice Fresh Voices. It might be called Prime Vice Intellectual Property Development Workbook or textbook or whatever. Because that's basically what we're doing. We're trying to empower people in our community or even help companies, brands develop strong IPs. And this is something we talk about in all of our workshops. When you see superhero movies all over, all the time, Marvel, DC, all of that, Black Panther, like they're all great, but that's what we're trying to get people in our community to do is develop brand new IPs because there have been enough Spider-Man movies, enough Superman movies. We like all of those. Albert has a question. Hey, Albert, what's your question? How or what has Prime Vice's projects worked for you as individual creators? That's a good question. How has Prime Vice...
I actually don't understand the question.
I'm trying to understand. Yeah, we're trying to understand what this question means. So...
Like, how does it work for us? Lumdrill was for the foundation, so it's helped us raise funds for the foundation, opposed to just asking people and begging them for money or doing the typical fundraiser.
Well, I would say all Prime Vice projects are individual projects as well because, we take what our strengths are and we combine them to make all of these projects. So we're not thinking, we're making a Prime Vice project. I mean, it becomes a Prime Vice project, but we're putting our strengths into it. I bring my writing, my editing, my digital content creation skills, and Carlos brings his, illustration skills, his business skills, his writing skills. So we really, every project we do has 100%, our individual touch on it, both of ours. We're just able to blend them and combine them in a way that it flows together. And we're pretty lucky, we happen to have very complementary skills. As individuals and as artists and creators and writers. So we combine, so every Prime Vice project is in some way benefiting us as individual creators. And it's based off of our skills as individual creators. So we just like to take our strengths and combine it into as many projects as we can to make the best that we can make together. So.
Does that answer your question?
I don't know if that was the question you were asking, but...
Yeah.
That's how we interpreted it.
You have a follow-up question? We tried.
Yeah, we tried, yeah. I don't know if we handled that correctly. I didn't know we were going to be getting interviewed, Albert. We're supposed to be sharing stuff. We're not supposed to be getting interviewed. You put us on the spot here. Okay, cool. I guess we answered your question. Thanks for putting us on the spot. No, I'm just kidding.
No, that's good. It means we're just not talking to random people.
Right. That was a really good question, though. Thanks, Albert. Hey, Art, the artist.
Hey, what's going on, man? Have fun. How you been?
How's it going? So, yes. So that's actually a perfect tangent from Albert's question to intellectual property development is we've been able to combine our skills. Albert. He's laughing. Okay. We've been able to combine our skills to create these unique intellectual properties that only we could have created with the unique skills that we have. So that's what we're always, encouraging in our workshops. We're encouraging all our students to do is take what's unique to them. We, like I said before, our students aren't all artists. They don't know. What's up?
What's that?
Adson.
Chilling, man, chilling.
Just hanging out, talking to people. hanging out at the Atlanta BeltLine, talking to you guys about stuff. Hopefully we're not boring you, that's all.
Shoot, we still got 4 people coming in and out.
People, yeah, everyone's going in and out.
You're actually over time anyway, but
Well, the next thing is at 4. What time is it?
it's 3:20.
Okay, so we'll wrap it up. Thank you. Thanks, man. We're trying. We out here. We're trying to do our thing here.
Yeah.
So we're going to wrap it up in a few minutes. But yeah, basically what I was talking about is, there are a lot of, you see superhero movies, you see a lot of iconic characters on the screen. They've been around for a long time, and we want to get some new ones. And especially as people of color, we need more people that look like us on the screen, right? So we have Black Panther, which is great. That's one thing. And it's still not owned by a black person. We love Stan Lee and everything. We love, all that stuff. Hey, Benny. Yeah, you do need it. You're checking us out right now. You're here, so thanks. Welcome. I keep losing my train. Yeah, superheroes. So, or just iconic characters. So, especially as people of color, we have to make new iconic characters of color that are built from us. That way, when they do make it to the big screen, when they do get famous, the reciprocate, the profits made off of that character come back to our community, come back to us, come back to where it started and who it represents. And if you guys, I talk about this all the time in my blogs, hashtag Brown Girl Rights blogs. You can check them out at nanyavahal.com. Plug. But I talk, one of my hashtags is own your narrative, and that's because if you look at the statistics from literary perspective, in the literary industry, there are more published works about people of color than by people of color, which basically means we're being written about in ways that we can't control the narrative. We're being written about in ways that we may not want to be written about. We're not able to tell our own stories. So what we try to teach in our workshops is we encourage, all right, Carl is posting the link here. So you guys can check it out in the link, my blog and stuff like that. So what we're trying to encourage our students in our workshops is to create your own IPs, your own intellectual property, your own iconic characters that, will stand the test of time, over the years, will come back and, help you build yourself up, help you build, come back and serve your community, your family, and grow, your circle, grow yourself. So that's basically what, and so you can control how you're being represented in the media. So we can control how we're being represented in the media. That's basically our biggest mission, is teaching people to own their narrative and creating intellectual properties so they can own their narrative, so they can tell stories about themselves on their own terms, and we can represent ourselves how we want to be represented in media. That's my spiel. So.
Yeah, we want to empower everybody to do it for their own communities.
Yes.
With IP, you have hardly any limits.
Yes. Yeah, so we have students in our workshops who aren't necessarily comic book artists. They're not comic book writers. They're not artists at all. They're not writers at all. We have dancers that came to take our workshop. We have several dancers we're working with now. And we're showing them how to use sequential art and intellectual property development to embolden their brand and what they already do as a business. We have a really awesome couple. Shout out to Shiva and
Toma Fit.
Shout out to Toma Fit. There we go.
King Quick,
Shiva.
Saturn.
Yeah, Shiva Saturn. Shout out to you guys. Thanks for coming to our workshops the last 2 days. We've had an awesome time with you guys. We're helping Toma Fit, you guys should look them up. We're helping them, kind of figure out ways to brand themselves through this intellectual property development, and they've been creating these really cool ass stories and stuff, man. You guys are doing a really good job, Toma Fit. And then we have another friend who I'm gonna shout out here, Stephanie Sutton. She's a dancer and she's an artist and she has experience in animation, and we're trying to help show her ways that you can combine that. So we want people to do what's we want people to do what comes naturally to them, what their strengths are, and use that to use sequential art as a tool to build on their own strengths, their own brands, existing brands, their own existing goals and ambitions. Basically, empower yourself. Use sequential art as a tool to empower yourselves, the community, and all of that. It's much more than just comic books, because whatever you put in here, you can make a comic book out of it, you can make a movie out of it, you can make a video game out of it, you can make a dance choreography out of it, you can make a Broadway play out of it. It's your intellectual property. You can make a t-shirt out of it, whatever you want. The profits from that are gonna come back to you, to your family, to your community. So that's what we preach in our workshops, and that's what we help people do. So like I said, again, I don't draw, I'm a writer, but through this process that we've created, I can do stick figures. So guess what? I can make a comic. Because I know I can write down the story. I can go through this process. I can create original characters. I can create original stories. I can do the script. And then guess what? I can draw little stick figures and tell the visual part of it the best I can. And then I can pass that off to Carlos, or another talented artist, visual artist.
You're some part of that job.
Or hires visual artists, which I do for Lung Girls, Lung Girl Comics. I hire, artists and get them to finish it and make it pretty for me. But, the prettiness of the art is the last step. That's irrelevant. We're trying to tell new stories, create new IPs. So yeah, we work with musicians, dancers, writers, people that are interested in animation, video games, and all kinds of people, and show them how they can apply sequential art to further their agenda and empower themselves.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm talking more than you are, so.
Well, I'm enjoying more than you are.
That's true. What are you working on?
I'm doing some Santos here.
Is this SLC Funk 3? I mean 2?
Yep.
Oh snap, you guys are getting an exclusive look into the production of SLC Funk 2. So y'all better go and get your SLC Funk 1. It's on Comixology now. The link is there. Carlos just posted the link on this video. So y'all better go get it, because he's over here making the next one. So y'all need to get caught up. Yeah.
3:30, yeah.
All right.
So thank you so much.
Time for us to wrap up.
We're about to wrap this up.
Thank you. Shout out to the Bakery Atlanta for hosting our workshops this week. You guys are an amazing space. We personally didn't know about them before we came here, and this space is amazing, y'all. If you're an artist or just anybody, it's on the west side of the BeltLine. It's in West End. And this is an amazing space. Y'all just need to come and check it out, because I can't even explain it. It's an experience on its own. It's a huge space, and every room is a different experience. Like, there's all kinds of art and everything. Thanks, Albert. Aw, that's so sweet. Thank you. Well, it's the same here. We love your work and your enthusiasm and your heart. You inspire us, so. Yeah. Yes, the Bakery Atlanta, on the west side, the BeltLine, West End. And shout out to the Atlanta BeltLine for sponsoring us to do this, and it's been so amazing. We've met so many awesome people. We had so much fun. The last 2 days we were surprised because they were weekdays, but so many people showed up. And yesterday, our workshop, it was an hour long, but we stayed here till like an extra 2 or 3 hours just working, because nobody wanted to leave. We were so engrossed in our work and our storytelling and stuff. So thank you guys for hanging around too, Fred and Renee and Toma Fit again. And yeah, we're having a great time. So thank you, Atlanta BeltLine, for giving us this opportunity. And thank you guys for watching and talking to us. And you guys have made it so much more fun and interactive. And we were glad to be able to share this and make this an intimate workshop and share it with you guys live from the BeltLine. And yeah, I guess, well, like I said, we're still scheduling our fall workshops. We haven't scheduled them yet, so we'll let you guys know when those are up.
Yeah, check our website, primevice.com. We got blogs, interviews, exclusive content, art. You could hire us. We could do a workshop with you. We could help you make your comment. You could hire us, get your IPs going.
Yes.
We draw, we write, we strategize for brands, brand IDs. We teach, we create. We're always making stuff. We're based here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
You can find us on Facebook here. You can find us on Twitter at @prime_vice. You can find us on Instagram at @prime_vice. You can find us on YouTube. That's where we have our panels that we've done. We do panels, guest lectures. We both have our Masters in Fine Arts. We have our MFAs. So we teach, share our knowledge, college level, all ages.
All ages, yeah. Well, 14 plus usually.
Focus.
Yes. Our focus is on 14 plus. We prefer to work with older students at college, including college age, but also like middle school and up is really our age group.
Yeah, we do STEAM.
Yeah, we do STEAM. We work with a lot of nonprofits in creating intellectual property, but also with for-profits and helping them strengthen their branding and creating intellectual property as well. So, you know, if you need a cartoon or a cool character or a cool story for your company, your brand, you can hit us up for that too. We do social media movements, social media strategies, digital content creation. Oh man, I forgot. I was going to talk about that too today, but I guess you're going to have to wait till next time for that. So, I think we've talked enough. Thank you guys for listening to us and bearing with us and going.
Please share, subscribe.
All of that. Yeah, share this if you guys think we said something that's useful to anybody that you know, feel free to share. Let us know, give us ideas what you guys want us to go live with next. We love going live. This is really fun. We want to do this more often. So, feel free to leave ideas down here in the comments, letting us know what you want us to go live with next time, because there's a lot of things we could talk about. We could talk all day. And you can watch Carla's drawing all day too, so. All right.
Yeah.
Is that it?
I just saw Carla signed in. What are you doing, Carla?
Hey, Carla.
And that's it.
That's it.
I guess that's it.
All right.
That's
Thank
it.
you guys for watching. We're signing out. Peace.
Finish safe.